Oh, these are truly sad times. We're seeing another media event. We're seeing another act of terrorism, not by the clown in the spotlight, but by the unseen hand. The manipulators of reality, the people who have a firm grasp on communications and media and political parties, and even the response time of the police. Incredible, folks. There are just too many inconsistencies in the Oslo events, and these I call Oslo events, for the simple reason that one man did all of this. One man is responsible for all of this. One idiot might believe this. But then again, if you repeat a lie over and over again, it'll be taken as the truth. Because the first time you'll say, oh, that's nonsense. The second time, well, maybe. The third time, well, I heard that before. And the fourth time, yeah, that's what I heard. And the hypothesis, based upon the memory of a limited intellect, before you know it, the sheep will buy it each and every time. So many different things here. And I could get into the forensics and the finer points of things, and I may get into some of that in this video. But before we get into any of that, let's look at who profits from this. Okay, and why did they pick a white Christian nation like Norway? Good, hard-working people. I mean, great sailors, great carpenters, hackers. I mean, ingenious people who basically enjoyed their heritage and, you know, a little bit of glug, we'll have some lopskow, we'll have all these wonderful dishes. Well, my heart goes out to the families of those people that lost people. But then again, you know that this wasn't the actions of a soul madman. This wasn't the actions of somebody who for a long time was venting. Oh, you see logs of how long it took him to put his entire manifesto, keyword, manifesto, like communism, put his manifesto together. Well, before we even look at the alleged shooter, let's look at the peripherals, okay? Why did they pick, why did they pick Norway? Possibly the spy scandal and there was a spy and surveillance scandal of Norwegian citizens discovered recently. And the President of the United States says, you'd better be careful of terrorism. You had your warning. Remember something. There are two great terrorist entities on the planet. One is the United States, and the other is Israel. Okay? Now, let's get back to the basics here. What had Norway made a declaration that they were going to pull their support for the troops in Libya and pull out of the Libyan situation because these people did nothing wrong to them. Okay? That was supposed to take place. You Norwegian people, you've been known for stubbornness. Do not deviate from the program. Pull your people out. Stick your finger in the eye of the global puppet masters. I commend you. This was not without price, but do not cave in and buy into the hype. I'm going to provide you with a few very, very key talking points. And these talking points, I'm not going to point the finger at who did this, okay? But I'm going to give you the information to ask very intelligent questions, okay? I really feel for your loss. And as far as I'm concerned, this was Norway's 9/11. Do you understand? Multiple locations, same people. Okay, do you see the common denominator here? Same people, multiple locations, a physical impossibility in each and every time. A breakdown in infrastructure, a breakdown in response time, a breakdown in communications, a shifting focal point, a variance in numbers from 1 to 96, from 10 to 96. Oh, he made a mistake. Discount this whole story. This is not a story. This is somebody that's not buying into the nonsense that you're being fed. Okay, number one. Norway is pulling out of Libya. Who would that anger? It wouldn't anger the Libyan people, the purported terrorists. It wouldn't bother them at all. Okay. Who would that anger? Who's actually controlling the entire situation over there? Whose enemy is that? Okay. So let's put one in the enemy box. Okay. We know who it is. Why they? I'll give you such a hint. Why? All right. And all right. They were given a warning not to pull out. All right. All right, so here we go. These things have been in the works for a couple of weeks, folks. All right. Now you have the clown in the spotlight. They have this big Norwegian guy. He looks like a male model. He's got a profile on Facebook. Who owns Facebook? Could it be a Zuckerberg? Wait, hey! Who owns Facebook, really? When was the original page put up? What were the entry logs? When was the last entry? They say it was the 22nd of July. When was the page put up? I'd like to see the server logs of all of the entries. You know, if it was done last Wednesday or something like that, doesn't look good for them. Now, here's a guy that looks like a male model, talking about something that's so radical, okay, and all of this nonsense. And what is he? He's a Christian. He's a hunter, okay? He has no friends. Where have you ever seen anybody with a Facebook page that has absolutely no friends? No activity on the page at all. Not even hate speech. Interesting. Could this possibly be a manufactured clown in the spotlight? Okay, all right. Now here we go. Purportedly, he picked up 6 tons or 6,000 pounds. It doesn't matter. It's a fictitious entity anyway. 6 tons of fertilizer. All right. All right, that could happen. What was the method of payment and the conveyance, and how did he get it home? Did they put it in small envelopes and send it to his house, or did he have a truck? And hello, you can't put 6 tons of fertilizer in a car, all right? Now, 6,000 pounds. That's different. 6 tons is 12,000 pounds. But either or, no matter the size of the bomb, the blast pattern is not consistent with the implement that they said was used. If you look, you'll see not much structural damage, but a little bit of glass damage. That means it was a very shallow hit, all right? And the shallow hit goes back, if you look at the photographs, goes back to a building that's behind the building. Now, if you were to use the Oklahoma City bombing, okay, as a model, you have within the face of the building, the main building in Oklahoma City, you have still some windows in the building, okay, and across the street you have windows in the building and a very frail building that should have just gotten blown away. So the frequency and the blast pattern of the blast in Oslo is not consistent with the use of ammonium nitrate fertilizer ordnance, or AMFO. Number 2, the logistics of getting something that large there is near to impossible. Okay? Now, you realize that this one man got 6,000 pounds of fertilizer and mixed up a bomb by himself. Right? Say a 1 in 5 mix of either, I don't know, fuel oil or nitromethane, whatever agent he wanted, would control the velocity up and down, but it's still, at its most critical stage and highest velocity, would not have done this type of damage. Now, all right, forget about the bomb. The bomb's not important. Okay? There was a bomb. Was it in a car? Was it in a truck? The finer points of nothing. Here's an interesting situation. We're still talking about the bomb now. If you put a bomb outside a building, right, and it goes off, do the papers inside the building blow out, or do they blow to the opposing wall? I don't know. I failed physics. I mean, and I'm on medicine, you know. Ooh, prescribed medicine. Whoa, right? How come the streets are littered with paper if the bomb went on outside the building? Possibly there were multiple bombs that went off simultaneously with a barometric trigger or sonic trigger or something like that, that they all went off at the same time. Pretty interesting, isn't it, folks? That's the bomb, okay? The bomb they said happened didn't happen. There's no crater from where the car is, because it's an AMFO bomb would have a crater. It's a cratering charge, okay? And you have too much high-frequency damage too far back, because the buildings that have no windows in them, okay, the buildings that have no windows in them would have probably gotten the equivalent of a 10-mile-an-hour wind on the buildings to knock out the windows, and that's not going to happen, folks. You have rubble in the street. You have completely devastated cars. The vehicle that transported it is non-existent. All right, it vaporized. That's more concurrent with a high output ordinance. All right, who has access? I mean, terrorists, and certainly this guy with no kind of a history doesn't have it. So that's now we're led to believe that now this guy dresses up in a police uniform, okay, and he goes to this island, and this island has kids on it, and coincidentally these are the children of people that had an anti-Israeli and boycott Israel rally the day before. Interesting, isn't it? Now I'm going to ask you the magic question. Where's the boat? If he was working by himself, how did he get on the island? Just an hour ago he blew up downtown Oslo, and now he's out on an island? Show me the boat. Did somebody take it away? Show me the rubber raft. They'll probably plant one now. We found the rubber raft. Yeah. You people, how stupid are you? Okay? Now, the first thing was he was in custody. All right? The first reports were he was in custody. All right? 10 people were dead at the time he was in custody. Well, people die slowly at times. But that many people? Perhaps the sweeper team was still on the island at the time. I do not believe that one person did this. What type of weapon was he carrying? What type of, spent shell casings were found? Were the shell casings consistent with the same weapon? Did they match? All very interesting stuff, folks. All right? So, what do we have here? We have a guy who could possibly be medicated or under a doctor's care. We could have someone who has been programmed. We have nobody that knows this guy, right? We have the prima facie evidence of something that could be planned. Do we have phone records? Who calls this guy? What are the names of his doctors? What are the names of his neighbors? What are the names? Oh, nobody's going to know this guy, right? It's going to be real interesting. I'll give you some more updates. I mean, we don't have to get into all of the forensics of all of this stuff to see that this was a manufactured event. You people of Norway, pull out. People of the world, stop your support to Israel and the United States. And you Muslim people that are being blamed for all of this, take your money out of the United States. The only way to keep the world safe is by starving out the mechanism of abuse. Whether it comes under, whether it wears a cowboy hat or whether it wears a yarmulke. Okay? Abuse is abuse. Stay strong, global human beings. Death to all tyrants.